let's move on. And let's talk about Lady Gaga, who has officially announced the name of her album, and it is called Mayhem, which I revealed to y'all last week. I said the rumor was that the name of her album was going to be Mayhem, and then somebody had to jump in my comments, Gio, which I had to read him a little bit. He goes and says, but that's been the rumor for months. I'm like, first of all, I don't follow her like that. Number two, I did not hear any of the little monsters out here saying Mayhem. All I heard was LG7. So maybe you heard something I didn't hear, but for the most part, nobody was referring to this as Mayhem. I didn't hear nobody talking about that was the rumored title of the album. In the last couple of days, I had started hearing rumblings, but not months. So I think he pulled that out of his ass. But nevertheless, let's continue. So apparently Lady Gaga is getting ready to unleash mayhem on her little monsters, with the pop superstar finally announcing her highly anticipated 7th studio album on Monday morning, which we already knew that there was going to be a big announcement because she made an announcement that she was going to make an announcement on Monday. And from what I saw, that, you know, when it was on Twitter and a bunch of other places, that they started putting the billboards up in Times Square and a bunch of other places of Lady Gaga's album, and I believe this is one of the covers. So the album is going to contain 14 tracks. It's going to be out on March 7th via Interscope, which is actually my cousin's birthday. I just realized that. So I'm like, which one? Oh, it's I'm trying to remember which one is it. Oh, it's my cousin Kenyatta. So her birthday is March 7th. Her brothers, and funny enough, this is probably why they both fight, because they both Pisces. So he's March 10th. And she was born a year later on March 7th. So clearly my cousin and her man at the time knew when to get that hunchation in, because they aligned them being born around the same damn time. So that's her birthday, but she wasn't a big Gaga fan. My cousin, her brother was actually a big Gaga fan at the time. So it says a new song will debut on Sunday, February 2nd, with a music video premiering during a commercial break at the 2025 Grammy Awards. So for those of you who, I guess if they want to find a way to get us to come in and watch the Grammys, this is definitely a way to do it. And we're going to get into, after this segment, the list of Grammy, who was announced that's going to be performing at the Grammys, because I got that too. But so we're going to get a new song. Have no idea what the song is, or what it sounds like, or who produced it. Or is it going to be, you know, a more high energy song? Is it going to be a little more aggressive? Well, she did say it's going to be like this album of chaos and all sort of stuff. Is it going to be better than Disease? Because I know a lot of y'all did not like that song. But like I said, I like Disease. I didn't have no problem with it. I just didn't like the video. I thought the video was a letdown. I do like the song though. So Gaga did say in a press release that the album started as me facing my fear of returning to the pop music my earliest fans loved, likening the process to reassembling a shattered mirror, saying even if you can't put the pieces back together perfectly, you can create something beautiful and whole in its own new way. She executive produced the album alongside Michael Polanski and Andrew Watt, with individual producers including Watt, Circuit, and Gesaffelstein. Now, or is it, I said Gesaffelstein and Gesaffelstein, tomato. But here's the thing. I'm a Gesaffelstein fan. I listen to a lot of his music. First of all, for those of you who don't know who Gesaffelstein is, he is a industrial DJ and producer. I believe he is German. If you have not heard his production definitely sounds, I was like, when I heard Disease, I'm like, yeah, kind of fits in that whole vibe. I like a lot of his electronic stuff, but I've told y'all before, I'm a huge industrial music fan. Like I listen to Nine Inch Nails, which I'm so glad they're going on tour this year. I'm very much into like A-Pop Tegma Berserk. I'm into VNV Nation. I listen to a lot of that music from overseas. So I am a huge industrial head. And I like Marilyn Manson, which a lot of people are saying this is giving Marilyn Manson tease with this picture. I've had multiple people say this to me, and I cackled over that. Because I'm like, yeah, sis, you aesthetically, you trying to give us Manson. It'd have been nice if you gave us something a little more original. But I am curious to hear this record. It's like this album, I'm hoping is as good as FKA Twig's new album. I am obsessed with that new album of hers, You Sexual. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just be now. So I'm loving that album. If y'all have not heard that record, I don't know what the hell is wrong with y'all. Y'all need to go listen to that album after this show is over. Because that album is giving me my life right now. I've had it on repeat since Friday when they dropped it. But nevertheless, it's not about FKA Twigs. It's about Mother Monster. So to get back to what she said, because I think this is something that we need to touch on. When she said that the album started as me facing my fear of returning to the pop music my earliest fans loved. I truly believe, I feel that when she said that, because I know a lot of people say, oh, here she go rehash what she did with the Fame Mountain. And I'm like, yeah, look, she's looking back on the stuff that she did. But I feel like the reason why she was afraid to go back to that is because people dragged her during the art pop era, which no shade, that the art pop era was a mess. Like you were trying to. It just felt a little too pretentious for me. Don't get me wrong. There's songs on the album I like. I understood what she was going for, but it was just a lot. It was chaotic. The execution didn't execute the way it needed to be executed, and I feel like, I always see like people go justice for art pop, justice for art pop, and in certain segments I agree, but for the most part, I just feel like the album was a mess, and it just felt a little, it just felt a little too pretentious for my own liking. So art pop is whatever. Her trying to do the whole vomit thing, like what this artist does, it was like, girl, that was a mess because she couldn't make herself throw up. It was like, there's an artist that famously does that, and then she's trying to emulate it. It's like, ma'am, if this is not in your ministry, don't even try it. And apparently it wasn't, because she was looking a little like fool to fool trying to do it. So I am definitely curious at the end of the day to hear what this album is. And I had somebody in my comments that said that too. They were like, you know what? I may not have liked Disease, but I am definitely curious to hear what she's going to give us with this record. And the record has 14 tracks. I do hope that if she does do a remix record, that it sounds way better than the last one she put out with, what was it, the Chromatica one? I did not like that remix. I'm like, what the hell is this? I listened to it one time and turned that mess off because I'm like, this is just, it's a chop. If I was rating it on at a runway, it would be a chop. So, and look, to me, Disease didn't do that well, but Die With a Smile was her huge hit. They're also saying that they're putting that song on the record, but I hope that if you're going to put it on, that you find a way to make Die With a Smile fit within the overall sonic aesthetic of this record, because when you listen to Die With a Smile, it sounds nothing like it fits in the whole industrial thing. So I'm hoping there's a possible remix or maybe a stripped down version. I don't know. There needs to be some sort of like an industrial remix that you can kind of add to that. Maybe it'll fit in, but for now, I'm just like, I'm not feeling the fact of Die With a Smile being added to the record. You're only adding it on there because it was a bigger hit than Disease, but we'll see. So my question is for you guys, are you excited? And then, yeah, there was a video that she put out on her Instagram, but I posted on my page of like the announcement that was like an actual visual and stuff. People say, I'm dissecting everything. I'm like, okay, you have fun doing that. And let me know what you find out, because I got a life. Sorry. I don't got time to be sitting there trying to dissect every little tidbit of visual that's she put on speed in that damn thing. But anyway, I say all to say, what do y'all think it is? Are you guys excited for Mayhem Miller or Mayhem? I was thinking of Drag Race because somebody posted on Twitter. They were like, how Lady Gaga and her team came up with the album, and they were showing a clip of All Stars when they pulled out all of Mayhem's lipsticks, and that was like after the first episode, when they did the talent show, and her talent was a mess. Hers and Derek Barry's, both of theirs was a choice. They should have did a double chop, but it's All Stars. They wasn't going to do that. But then they were like Mayhem, Mayhem. And when they did that, I started laughing because I was like, that is actually funny. So y'all be clever up on them on the social media when it comes to stuff. So I say all this, like, what do y'all think of the album? Are you excited for the record? It was supposed to come out in February, but now it's coming out in March. Which I guess it makes sense because after Disease didn't do what needed to be done, I think that she went into crisis mode and they had to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? Because the first single didn't work. But hopefully there's hope for the second when that one airs during the Grammys on Sunday. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.